Yeah, it's CC, the CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. I'm trying to talk slow. I was listening to myself last night, and you know what? I talk a little bit fast. So I'm trying to talk slow right now so you can follow me and understand me. I talk super fast, and I don't know why I talk fast. You know why I talk fast? I talk fast because when I was young, my mama used to always say, this girl is long-winded. She talk too much and she take too long to get to the point. Can you give me some water too? And so I would always try to talk fast to get words out real quick because my mama always said I was long-winded. So I didn't want to be wasting people's time. So I just picked up this habit of talking really fast because I don't want to waste your time. But anyway, I digress. Welcome. It's Constance and my daughter Kyle. She's coming to get it together. But as you come in, I see a lot of people coming in. Put where you're from in the comments because I always love to acknowledge people wherever you are watching from. And thank you for watching. Please make sure that you're subscribing to the Fly Nubian Queen. Please make sure you're subscribing to Constance Carter, CC the CEO on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And I am Constance Carter. This is my daughter, Kyle Carter. So we're going to get right into it because, first of all, we got to get to the Net 7 Collective. If you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman that is interested in building their net worth to 7 figures, please have them schedule a call with me. They can go to bookwithconstance.com. I am helping Black women. My goal is to help 100 Black women build their net worth within the next 12 months. I'm already halfway there. Build their net worth to over $1 million. And we are doing it. And I'm excited about it. You guys have seen people. If you watched last night, there was 3 women from the Net 7 Collective, including my daughter. And it is just an amazing time. So we can't be before you too long, but we have so much to unpack. So first of all, let's talk about this Jeezy thing. Did you watch it, Kai? Mm-hmm. I want to know by show of hands in the comments, how many people on here, and thank you. First of all, let me shout you out. I see Sandra from Houston. Thank you, Sandra. What's up, Laura from Decatur? What's up, Miss Ware from Arizona? All y'all coming in. Serenity Coopers from Tanya Cooper, Farmington Hills, Michigan. What's happening? Monique from St. Petersburg. Sandra Bell from Texas. I know we have people from all over the place. Tehran from Baltimore. I see I'm in the East Coast now. That's not DMV. Baltimore is not considered DMV. Oh, yeah. Remember, that's like too far. Yeah. Angelique from Georgia. And then we got Ron from North Carolina. But as you come in, make yourself comfortable. Make sure you subscribe. Okay. In the comments, did anybody watch the Jeezy and Nia Long interview? Because I really want to unpack that. I think it's really good for the culture. I'm going to bring this over so that they can hear you too. I think that interview was really good for the culture. I'm going to move on over. Yeah. So, put in the comments if you were able to watch it, because we're going to share some clips from the interview. But if you were able to watch it, what did you think? So here you have Jeezy. So I'm not I don't follow Jeezy that much. What songs do Jeezy say? Say hello. Yeah, I don't know that song. So, no, I don't know that song.
You do. You just need to
Every Damn Hustling? No, that's Rick Ross. I don't know. But I don't really follow him that much, so I don't know a whole lot about him. I know I listened to a lot of his interviews, and I've been seeing like a lot of his self-awareness, and I really dig that about the brother. I like him. I like what's his name? Gates.
Kevin Gates.
I like Kevin Gates. I like intelligent men, especially intelligent Black men. I know Kevin Gates is doing some suspect stuff, but do this. You can't deny his intelligence. And so I love intelligence. But what I noticed on this particular interview was more of his emotional intelligence. What do you think? So nobody's seen it. Angelique says she loved it. Couple of people that haven't seen it. Ronald Zion said he loved it.
So give him a quick synopsis about what it's about.
So basically, Nia Long and Jeezy are just sitting down and having a conversation about life, about relationships, about love, about Black people, all of those things. So what did you think about it?
And he mentioned a little bit things of his marriage and what happened, but that wasn't like the main core thing. He talked about a lot of things that I don't see like us talking about in our community, which is huge, especially Black men.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about meditation, healing.
Well, let's talk about the meditation. Let's talk about the
maybe 2 nights ago. Or early morning meditation. I meditate in the morning, and I was meditating, and I had a vision that I saw my mom, and I was talking to her. We was just talking, and I just asked her. I said, I forgive you, but can you forgive me?
So that's pretty deep. So Jeezy's mom passed away a few years ago. She passed away during COVID. She had dementia. And so he's tried to talk to her over the years about, his childhood and different things that he went through. But even when she had dementia, she knew that she didn't want to discuss that. And so he never really had any closure. He said he never mourned her. And so he went to his cemetery and, he talked to her, but this was a time where he meditated. So first of all, I want to know, because here's the thing about success and successful people. One of the things that I know, a habit that successful people do, is they meditate. And so I thought that was poignant, because a lot of people that I know that perform at a high level, they meditate. That's one of the things that I do every single morning is I pray, I meditate. I have what I call the ramp method. I rise up an hour early. I do my affirmations, I meditate, and I pray. But these are the things that I do to prime my mind, to get prepared for the day, to make the ultimate impact, to be as productive as possible. But I thought it was cool that he meditated. It showed like he's really self-aware. What did you think about, him talking about the meditation piece?
I think that it is big that he talked about it, because that's not what we talk about in our community, especially Black men in our community don't really talk about it. So it's really important, I feel like, how he talked about it. And the situation when he talked about how he was meditating one day and it helps heal one of his childhood traumas. How he said how he was meditating one day and then he envisioned like him going into this house and going downstairs to seeing a kid crying, and that kid being him, and his inner child. And like, so when he tapped the kid, like the kid turned around, he was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And so it, like, how he comforted the kid and let him know that it's okay. And like, when he said that, low-key made me shed a tear for real. I was like, wow, because a lot of people need that healing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do the work to go do that.
Tell me about a time for you. So that's, first of all, that's super deep meditation, when you can actually go, when you take your mind, right? So somebody said that was a whole lot of therapy, and I think so, but that's also like a practice, like a super strict discipline to be able to take your mind there, because you guys understand we only use like 5% of our brain. And so when we can have control over our mind to do certain things that'll take us to places where we're going back and we're healing that inner child. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. But can you tell about a time or something that you probably needed to heal from as a child? And I don't know if I want to hear this because this is my child, but I mean, has there been something that
I've done through meditation?
No, that you've done through meditation, but like there's some trauma maybe that you've had from your inner childhood that maybe you need to heal, that you want to share? I don't know.
No, that I would have to really think about that. I don't really have it on the top of my head right now. I would have to like think about it.
I could say for me personally, when I was a child, there was a lot going on in my household. We had like 19 people living in a 3-bedroom house for a family of 5. So I was exposed to a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have been exposed to. A lot of things happened. And so I could see going back and, trying to reprogram your mind and protect that vulnerable, innocent child I was when I was 6 and 7 and certain things happened. I definitely will go back, if, at doing that kind of work. I think that would definitely heal me from some of the things that I experienced when I was a child. So I thought that was pretty deep, because number one, I mean, it's Black people in general, statistically, we're not doing therapy. I think only 20% of African Americans are actually going to therapy. And so to be a Black man, because majority of Black people who are in therapy are actually women. So to have a masculine man rapper, former drug dealer, to actually go into therapy, wanting to walk in integrity and know his full self. I think that's dope. One of the things
and
my
being
daughter
receptive to what she was saying as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people are like, it's like, you know, it takes a lot of work that you have to do to yourself to realize to train yourself to like listen to receive and not respond.
That's right, because we know how we do.
I didn't have enough examples in my own life to like understand what it really meant or what it really means to see a relationship between a man and a woman that is healthy and balanced. And you work through things instead of like every conversation is not an argument.
Right.
That's the thing. You got to let them go. You got to let them go, and you got to let them be on their own journey, and you can't fight for it anymore. And you got to love them exactly where they are. And you got to say, baby, you know what? The hardest thing to do is to walk away from someone that you still love.
She said the hardest thing to do is walk away from somebody that you still love, and I can attest to that. But
you sure can.
But did you see how Jeezy was like, so like he wanted to say something, but he really didn't want to say nothing, you know? But I think it's true, you know,
because you could tell like that's something hard for him to do.
But you could also tell that he could super relate. Like
he could relate, yeah, exactly.
But I really don't want to say, but you hitting it on the head. Mm-hmm. Pastor Keon did a sermon the other day, and I sipped it. Anyway, basically, it said the sermon it wasn't he did it the other day. I just seen a clip of it, and it said you can still, if you've ever loved somebody, just because you're not with him or with them, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. Because if you don't love them, or if you hate them, then you really never loved them to begin with. And so just because I'm not with you, it doesn't mean that I don't want the best for you. I don't want you to live your best life. I want you to soar and reach all your highest heights. It's just not with me. And so when you can learn to like put past your differences and understand that I could love you, but I just say I don't got to be with you. That's growth. That's maturity. That's true love. But if you can't see past your own bitterness to try to, look past that and see a person's humanity, did you ever really love them in the first place? And so those are discussions that I think that we need to have as, you know, men and women and, you know, just in relationships in general. And so that's why for me and my daughter, when we have these conversations, it's so important because, even though my marriage didn't work, I want her to have a happy, healthy, successful, long-lasting, forever type of relationship. I want her to submit to her husband. I want her to be with somebody that knows how to lead her. I want somebody who's going to take care of her. I want her to be able to identify that person who's going to be able to protect her and that she can look up to and that can lead her and that she'll want to follow him. You know, and that's the thing, because a lot of people are saying, women don't want to, women don't want to follow a lot of men.
Women want leadership. They want to feel protected.
Do they want leadership?
Well, it depends on the woman.
Right. Yes.
Depends on the woman, right?
Right.
And it depends on where you're leading me. Because if you're leading me someplace where I don't want to go, then no.
Right. You can't be leading me to hell. Right. So, of course, I mean, in the comments, put in the comments, like, if you are a woman, don't you want somebody? I know I would want somebody to lead. I don't want to be the leader in the relationship. I don't want to do that. That is actually a natural. That's not a natural thing, I think, for a woman to do.
And then as a man, if you allow that to happen, then you can't blame the woman for that. Like, you can't be like, she wouldn't let me. Like, it's like you can't, like, as a man, I feel like you just have to like be the man. I feel like it comes natural to y'all. So I feel like it's an excuse if y'all let the woman just do that.
But we don't want nobody. We also want to have the intelligent discernment to not let no man lead us down a mountain,
discernment,
or lead us into a burning building. You know,
Absolutely.
There's also that as well, that we have to be intelligent enough not to be stupid.
Absolutely, and you only learn that discernment through experience. Honestly,
that's
like,
true.
It's the best teacher.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Victory said, both of you two are such a blessing to hear you speak and share your presence. I want to genuinely thank you for this positive, melanated conversation. Absolutely. It means a lot to me. And I appreciate your feedback on that, Victory. Make sure you guys are sharing this, and make sure you're subscribing to the Fly Nubian Queen. But yeah, Nia said a word with that one, girlfriend. So true, but for the betterment of your high self, rise and walk. She said, why get with him then? What do you mean, Last Rider? Speak with truth and power. It's not, but I had to learn that. It's not a natural thing for a woman to want to leave. I just think that there's a natural feminine power and there's a natural masculine power. And so, if you're a woman, you automatically just within your femininity, you automatically like do certain things. Like men don't grow boobs, men don't have coochies. Like it's biology. And I think also with that, there are certain things inherently that women and men do very differently. I think in this society, we fought to have these equal rights, and we want to be men, and we want to be firefighters and fighting wars. We shouldn't be doing.
I remember I saw something that was like, I want to beat the women in 1865 who made us, who fought for our rights to go to work. Now we got to go to work. Yeah. How about that? Could anybody want to do this ghetto stuff? What's the word?
Had a really public breakup recently. It was a wake-up call for me in the sense of like, okay, you're going to do this on your own. And you're going to be fine. Right. And you're not going to worry about what anyone thinks and has to say. Because the relationship was rocky for a very long time. So, because I don't believe another person can break anyone up. Right. Like, I don't buy that. Right.
Ain't that the truth? So, just because you see smiles, let me tell you something. Social media be lying. Facebook be lying, Instagram be lying, because
even real life be lying. When you just be in public with people, when they just be smiling, and
I'm trying to tell you, because I can tell, like when before that happened, I think the championships were going on, and she was like all cheering, and she was all by his side when they were going to the championships, and you thought Nia, he was a coach for the Celtics, and so you would think that everything was great and everything was wonderful, but you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Absolutely not.
When I look at, because I'm telling you, social media is so deceiving, because I will look at some old pictures and be like, we were so happy.
But you forgot when we was there, we was arguing to take that picture. You only looking at the smiles, but we was getting yelled at while the picture was getting taken. Like
I was telling them, we were so happy. That was like, but you don't even know 5 minutes before that or 5 minutes after that. And I was like, dang. So you just don't know what people are going through. And
that's what I had to learn a lot throughout the years. Like, I remember around the time of my first relationship, how like I felt like a lot of the people around me started getting relationships, and mine was like the first one to end, and everybody else was still like together. And I'm like, they're so happy, but you later on know, like down the line, that they weren't, and they had to put up with toxic. A whole bunch. Yes,
and you like, damn, God saved me from a whole lot of stuff, because he got me out of that sooner.
Yeah,
and I'm thankful. And I was sitting up there, looking at them, wishing I was them, and not knowing that they was getting verbally beat down, mentally, they was in the,
even like celebrities. I remember around the time when Saweetie and Quavo went like together, and that video release goes. That video release where he like pushed her down in the elevator, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
Jesus, I'm glad I was in that.
And that's the thing about social media. And I used to even say, I was like, I'll never put me, stabbing him up in the kitchen on social media. You're only going to see our best. But then it sometimes even fools us, because then we look back at those things and we're like, everybody was smiling. We have family pictures, and because we take family pictures every single year. Last year was the only year that we didn't take family pictures, but we had family pictures. You remember the one where we looked really nice when we were on the stairs and the boys had on the little hats? Mm-hmm. You remember what happened the week before that? Mm-hmm. You remember that? Mm-hmm. What?
Do I need to say it on here?
No, but what? What happened? Just hint. Hint.
I don't know how to say it without just hinting. Like, well, without them knowing what happened. Like, what other hint do you have to say with infidelity? Like, what do you want me to say? I can't. That's why I'm looking at you.
Okay, yeah. So that happened.
I don't know how she wanted me to hide.
You whispered.
Oh, you want me to whisper? Like, they'll still be able to hear. If we're on live, they can read my lips. Like, what do you?
You're gonna be like,
you know, I kind of got to slow this from.
Yeah. You little special ed.
Anyway.
But even like that was a beautiful picture of us, and there was like something that big that just happened. But I'm trying to save face, and then there was another year where we took a picture, and in the middle of the photo shoot, remember what happened? In the middle of the photo shoot, yeah. but from the outside looking in, because we got a picture with the mistletoe and all that stuff, and it looked very beautiful, but in actuality, so you just don't know what people are going through, and of course people aren't going to put all their business out on the street, but that's just what it is.
I didn't have enough examples in my own life to like understand what it really meant or what it really means to see a relationship between a man and a woman that is healthy and balanced, and you work through things instead of like every conversation is not an argument.
Right.
That's the thing. You got to let them go. You got to let them go, and you got to let them be on their own journey, and you can't fight for it anymore. And you got to love them exactly where they are. And you got to say, baby, you know what? The hardest thing to do is to walk away from someone that you still love.
No, we did see that. But that's what's important for me, is because just because you didn't see that inside the house, I so want that for you. But that's also why I can't tell you what to do. But one of the things that I tell you is like, enjoy your time, get to know yourself, enjoy your 20s, learn what you like, learn who you are, get yourself established, gain that emotional intelligence, do the self work, do the internal work, become self-aware, so that when you get with somebody, you know what it is that you want and what you will tolerate. Because if you're vibrating at a high level, you're not going to match with somebody who has low vibrations. You're going to match with somebody who has high vibrations as well. But you have to get yourself there if you are emotionally intelligent. And that's extremely important. So just because you didn't see it necessarily in our home, or it didn't work out for us, I so want that for you and your brothers.
And I want that for myself as well. That's why I put in the work and things like that. I don't want to like repeat the cycles, and I don't want to, bring on. I want to raise. It kind of sounds controversial. I want to like hurt your feelings while saying this, but like I want to raise my kids to the point where the things that they don't have, that they have to heal from, aren't within the house.
Ooh.
Like the things that they would have to, I don't want them to go through, bad things in the real world, but like most of the things that they'll have to, like their main struggles probably will be out there, but I don't want it to be.
That's what I so wanted
in our house.
That's what I so want. I tell you.
And I know you tried, of course, but it also takes both the parents to want that as well. Kyle, that's why I'm so hard to. Well, I'm not trying hard, but that's why I'm very intentional with who I pick as well, because it takes two people.
I was intentional, but I think I was just so young, when I picked. But that's what I was thinking, because my dad is like dope, and so I was like, okay, got somebody like my dad. And
yeah, but I feel like you fell in love with more of the words aspect than what the actual actions were behind it. And so it's like a person could say a whole bunch of things, but what really determines their character is how they act.
Well, I really didn't know until y'all came along, and it was like I was stuck in.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to have kids right now too, because I'll know that I'll have to learn.
I didn't have enough examples in my own life to like understand what it really meant or what it really means to see a relationship. I had to come to a place where loving myself was bigger and more important than saving anybody.
Self-love. I had to come to that point, to be honest with you, Kyle, because I was like, honestly, I'll tell you the first time. The first time, so we went on vacation, just me, you. We had never been anywhere, just me, you, and the boys, right, by ourselves. And we went to that family reunion in Mississippi by ourselves. That was 2019. Remember that? Went to Mississippi, me, and the boys, and it was the first time. And you were telling the boys, you got this many years of me with dad, and you got this many years of me with dad. And I was in the bathroom, and I was like, I got this many years. I was counting down too, because you was telling all the boys, and then in my mind I was thinking, yeah, well, when that last one leaves, I'm out here too. So, but having to make the decision to love yourself enough to say, you know what, I need to do what's best for me. Here's the thing, because when you make a decision to do things that you think are right, because you think you stay, me personally, you stay so long because I wanted to create a life for my children. I wanted to design a life that I never had. I wanted to have the entire family to be able to eat at the breakfast table, to eat at the dinner table, to go on vacations. And we did all those things, right? And so I remember one day I was talking to my two older kids, and I said, I feel really bad. Remember I told you guys this? I said, I feel really bad because you guys the younger two didn't have me and your dad together as long as you guys did. Mm-hmm. And y'all was like, they lucky. And remember you and Duder said that? Y'all was like, they lucky. Mm-hmm. And that, for me, that was like, because you have, your me, when you go through that, you have your regrets on, decisions that you make. But for me,
I think my question was, because I know, like you said, you just wanted, the reason why you were in the relationship for so long was because you wanted us to have like the stability of two parents. But it's like I feel like that's more, you're worried about the outside,
the optics,
the outside, but not the depth of what is happening by having those two parents. Like you were more focused on, I don't want to say like the vanity and how it looks and us being, but that's kind of like how it felt, because like on the inside, it wasn't, the two parents probably wasn't the most functional. So, yeah. No, I'm not saying this to beat you up.
No, listen, I take full responsibility, so I'm not even mad. I welcome you to tell me anything about me, because I can't grow if I don't know. If I think I'm perfect, one of the things I used to always do with my kids is I used to sit them down and I used to be like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do I rate as a parent? And so, some of them be like, Mommy, you're a 10. Or they'd be like, you a 7. I didn't get lower than a 7, though. But I would ask them that. And the whole reason why, don't be like, because I would have got you a 5. No. But the whole reason why I did ask them that was because if I'm not a 10, how do I become a 10? What can I do better as a mom to make you feel, that I could be closer to a 10? Because I know I'm not perfect. So I'm okay with you. My kids, I don't have a problem with my kids giving me, critiquing me about anything. And the one thing I do say, because you do learn things from your childhood, how you grew up and all of that. But the one thing I do tell my kids, and it may be a good or bad thing, is I say, what you didn't like from us, make sure you do different.
Absolutely.
Just make sure you do something different,
Mm-hmm.
Well, what else was, what else did they talk about?
I remember towards like the end when he was talking about how they were both giving each other their perspective of why it was important for a Black woman and why it's important for a Black man. And so with him saying like it's important to have these open conversations, so you can be more loving and stuff like that, because you really can't get that with your homies or the platonic relationships. And it kind of reminded me when I saw this thing on TikTok. It said this girl was basically saying why female like relationships like feel more like breakups and male relationships don't, because female relationships, the female, we like genuinely get to know each other. We genuinely like we tell each other our deepest darkest secrets. We just really are really into it, and male relationships are more surface level. That's why it don't really. That's why they're able to consolidate and stuff like that. They're not
compartmentalized,
and also consolidate very easily. Because it's not really deep. If they were, if they treated their relationships like females did and tell each other like everything and things like that, maybe it would be that way.
But that's what I think is so dope about Jeezy, is because he's doing the work.
Yeah.
What are the things you said? Wait, let me play this clip real quick.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be the person
to get it right.
Get it right.
Me too. I wanted to get it right.
To be right.
Yes.
To do all the things. And when you get in that space and you're letting your inner child down and you're not protecting them, and that's making you shrink in situations like that too.
Men do.
Yes, because if you're not appreciated, if you're met with resistance, if you're met with that inner thing that somebody else has from their thing,
but
that's
to me that's fixable.
You gotta want to do the work.
I agree. And that's usually not about another person, an affair, or some chick that's willing to like make you feel like a king, because that's why most men cheat because
that's fascinating to me.
It's so gross, it's so stupid.
I personally, this is my quote, and real niggas don't cheat.
You don't think so?
Hell no. I
kind of understand what you mean when you say that.
They do not.
I understand what you mean when you say that.
It's something in us that makes us want to be right? Yes. Across the board.
He said real niggas don't cheat.
Absolutely. And it just, it's crazy. It's like...
Turn the mic, girl.
It's crazy though, because he said he did all this work and all this type of stuff, and how he's 46 years old. And I'm just like, do I have to wait till I'm 46 to want a man?
That's what she was one. So we both watched it. She came
wait till I'm 46.
She said, do I gotta wait until I'm 46 to get emotionally intelligent?
No, but I know this all depends on the man, because I know men who are 80 and still don't.
That is the truth.
But
when he said real men or real niggas don't cheat, I think that comes from a place because he's so focused and on his purpose that he doesn't allow distractions to get in the way. And that's a very rare discipline that I feel that men have, because you have this thing that men will say was that, men weren't meant to be monogamous. Men, boys will be boys. Men are dogs. Men do this, men do that. But it's because they get a pass to do those things. Absolutely. And so when you have somebody that's so focused on their purpose and their goals and their integrity and just walking the walk and talking the talk, you can find a man like that. In fact, if you raise your vibrations and you become that, you will attract that. The issue is we giving it up on the first day. We letting anybody hit, whoever want to hit. We doing all of those things. And so then we're not going to find a man of substance, because we ain't being people of substance. But if you really want a man like Jeezy, because I know if I ask people that are watching, if they want a man like Jeezy, a lot of people would say that they want a man like Jeezy, but they don't want to be that woman that has that same kind of discipline and integrity. And so you have to ask yourself, are you willing to be what it is that you want? Is that what you want? Then you got to be that. I want a dope ass dude. I want a dude who has all of these qualities. I have to be that. And so, Angelique, Angelique said, I need to put that on a t-shirt. Oh, real niggas don't cheat. Yeah. What's wrong with you? I can't get no. Here he go again.
You know what? I'm not even paying attention.
What's up, first time viewer from Florida? So once again, I want to just let you know, my name is Constance Carter. This is my daughter, Kyle Carter. And we just like to have conversations just about whatever, is going on, or whatever things that we can really relate to. my daughter and I were super close. Me and all my kids are super close, but my sons wouldn't dare be on here with me. But
She
we
low-key be forcing me sometimes.
but she'll do it. She's a good sport. But we all have a very open dialogue, and one of the reasons I think, well, you said it before. One of the reasons why we're so close, because people do ask. People have DM'd me, Kyle, and we're like, "How are you and your daughter so close?"
I was talking to somebody about that last night, actually.
Really?
And yeah. I was talking to him, and I was basically saying, like talking about my dynamic between my relationship with my mom and dad. Because I was talking about how I wasn't always super vulnerable until that time where, I was bullied and you wouldn't leave my room until I told you what happened. And then that's when I,
Every
became more
day.
open. And then so it just opened me up to, like, talking to you every day and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like it's just important that therapy is cool, therapy is good, all that, but I feel like if you see your kid have a problem, don't automatically write them off to therapy. Like, that most of the time it's because the kid wants to be heard by their parent. And I feel like it's also important for parents, when the kid opens up to them, to listen, to receive and not respond, and not be on the defense, not doing the whole guilt trip. Well, I tried, to make you feel like, or I tried. No, we're kids. We're just trying to figure out this world
And validate your feelings.
Yeah, validate what we're going through. That's all the kid really wants, because it's just like when you go out into the world where you feel like nobody understands you, and you come back home and your own parents don't understand you. It's like,
yeah, I never wanted my kids to get lost in that way. I remember in elementary school, there was this thing at school. We had an assembly, and they were talking about some things, and they were saying, if this happened to you, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell somebody.
Yeah, some people can't.
Well, I remember I called my mom at work because something happened to me, and I really, really wanted to tell her, but I was really, really, really scared. And I called her at work. I said, Mom, when you get home, there's something I want to tell you. I was so nervous. And I was like, oh, Lord, I'm like, what's going to happen when I tell her this? And so I said to myself, well, if she doesn't ask me, I'm not going to tell her. If she doesn't remember, I'm not going to tell her. And she never asked me. So I never told her. And I just remember in my mind at that time, I made a decision at 8, 9 years old that if my child ever had something on their mind or their heart, now I may have missed the mark, and I hope I have not with I have 4 kids, with any of my children, but I always wanted to be there to listen. And so when your dad came in and said something happened at school, that you were in your room crying, he said you were in your room crying, right? Is that what happened? Mm-hmm. And I would not let up. You didn't want to tell me. I would not let up. You were going to, I was determined to have a conversation with you until you opened up. And I was not going to give up, because I was not going to do what I wouldn't say that she purposely did that to me. She was doing her things, she forgot. But I just wanted to be intentional about making sure that whatever was on your heart or whatever happened to you, that it was heard, and also make room for you to be able to express yourself. Now, my daughter's not always right. And some of the shit she used to say, she when you were younger, I'm talking about like when you used to be like, with your little white girl stage, I feel like you guys are judging me. And, I'd be like, girl, your parents is black, so there will be times, of course. I mean, we got to keep it all the way, a buck, right? We got to keep it all the way 100. I ain't one of your little friends. You ain't one of these little white kids. You got to keep it real with these kids, because otherwise they'll be in fantasy land. But for the most part, I think I've always gave you, look at me. I've always given you space to be able to be expressive. And, if you have something, because you've told me stuff about myself, and I try, hopefully I've conveyed to you that I know I'm not perfect. And like, I'm here to learn. I'm here to receive. Right. Okay. So, and there's things that I do even now, because you be on my helmet, and I'll come to you, because I'll listen, this is my sounding board as well. So I'll come in her room in the morning, and if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, she be like, you just threw off my whole day.
No, for real, because she be doing that first thing. I ain't even open my eyes yet. I ain't even have my morning pee yet. I ain't even get out of bed yet.
And she's like, you just ruined my day.
Right. Like, I'm depressed, Kyle. I was like,
I just throw her
Like, I'm just.
Oh, my bad. I got muted. But yeah, so like I'm not trying to say that we are by any means perfect, but do have that dynamic, and I try, and just trying to be intentional about how we interact with each other. And I think the one thing that you said before is that listening to your child is everything. If you just listen to your child, then that solves a lot of problems. And a lot of times we just don't listen as parents. But I also, wanted to talk about Farrakhan and Jeezy's evolution, because Jeezy, I guess his music started turning positive. So it is my firm belief that the powers that be push this poison out to our people to keep us dumbed down, to keep us divided, to continue so that we can continue killing ourselves. And when Jeezy's music changed, Farrakhan took notice. Farrakhan had his finger to the pulse, and he took notice, and he called Jeezy, and he said,
Farrakhan calling me every other day, like, Jeezy, brother, the enemy is coming. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So
why was he calling you?
He called me and said, brother Jeezy, your message is changing. The enemy is coming to get you. I said, with all due respect, Mr. Farrakhan, all my enemies in my neighborhood, I'm not going back there no time soon. He said, no, the enemy. But he was saying was that my message was changing and I was starting to educate my people.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And now here comes the enemy. And he wasn't lying. It was when I got to that arena to do my show in front of 30,000 people, it was my turn to go on stage. It was maybe 70 police back there waiting to take me to jail.
The moment he started talking positive is when the enemy came back. And so, brothers and sisters, it is so important that we are intentional. The powers that be want to keep us blinded. They want to keep us dumb. They want to keep us fighting. That way, they don't have to give the KKK any work to do because we're doing it ourselves. And as soon as you see a shift, then they try to kill you. And this is what happens. So finally, let me just, there was a couple of more. Oh, why Jeezy? Why Jeezy? She did finally ask why Jeezy filed for divorce. So here it is.
What happens when a man gets to the point where they're just like, okay, I'm filing for divorce?
Integrity intact. I could never say anything that would not honor somebody.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you that this has not been a easy journey. Right. I can tell you that I'm saddened. I can tell you that I'm disappointed. I can tell you that I'm uneasy, right? But again, like, God has put me in a different path, and that path is going to entail for me to take care of myself.
He said it without saying it. What kind of didn't really say anything. Did he say anything? He really didn't say why he filed for divorce. And really, at the end of the day, it's nobody's really business.
He kind of did a little bit.
What do you think?
He was just basically like, I guess it wasn't the best environment for him, and got to a point where he had to choose himself, because he said that they went to marriage counseling and everything, and it wouldn't bud. Like, nothing really shifted for real. So,
but it's rare that a man actually files for divorce. But you know what? To be honest with you,
conspiracy behind that though too. Because I feel like he's going through his evolution right now, and especially like as a Black man and knowing what you want and need as a Black man, I feel like he realized also like that because she's not Black, she doesn't really understand what it is to be a Black person in America. Like, of course, that's all her friends are Black or whatever, but she truly don't understand. So I feel like that caused division within them.
Shout out Jenny Mays from San Jose. It's from my hometown.
Makes sense.
Shut up. And she actually went to school with a couple of my friends. But
it's Jeannie May.
Whatever. I don't know her.
May.
Whatever. Jenny May. I thought her name was Jenny May. She had an old country Black name. But anyway, Jenny May. Jenny May. But anyway, my bad. But I think that
like my great grandmama name.
Did he may? But I think that I think you're right. I do agree with you. I think he's in a place where he's evolving.
Yeah.
He's emotionally intelligent. He's self-aware. He really wants somebody that's operating at his level, and I think she's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
But do you give up on the marriage because they're not there? Can she get there? Can she not get there? I mean, they've only been married 2 or 3 years. So did you give it a chance to get there?
She fetishizes black men. She don't really care.
Yeah. So
her intentions with getting with him wasn't. I feel like it wasn't pure. So I feel like he noticed that.
But I think that
with that white man for years and then going to him, like I feel like that's more of your different fit. Like Kim Kardashian did that kind of similarly. All she did was black men, and then she got with this white man for a couple of minutes because it was
but I really feel like when you're talking about getting married, and this is why it was so tough for me to get a divorce, is because when you get married, you make a commitment. It's a covenant between you and that person and God. And so you think for life. You don't think for 2 years. You don't think for 5 years. You don't think for 10 years. You think for life. And so like, you're like, okay, we're going through this. We got to thug it out. You make compromises. You make changes. You try to grow. You try to work things out. Okay, this didn't work. We got a baby. Because for me, so like I'll say, like, we was cool before we started having kids. And then after we started having kids, it was like, yep, got him. That's how I think he was with me. And then it was like, can't go nowhere now. Got 4 of them. And it wasn't like I did, but not seriously thought about, ever leaving before that, because I was trying to be a dutiful wife and trying to just do what I was supposed to do with my commitment that I made to God. So, to see somebody give up their marriage so easy because they're on this evolutionary journey, but this is your wife, this is the person that you're supposed to be covering and trying to bring along with you, is 2 years really enough time to say, meh, didn't work, on to the next? I don't know. What do you say? What he said shouldn't be strange. That's the shush of societal influence. Okay, the only way. So anyway, so that's our conversation. We getting ready to do the Net 7 Collective in about 8 minutes. That is what that's what this shirt I have on, and this is where I'm helping Black women to become.
Also kind of like cross-marketing her merch as well.
Oh, grow your money, don't blow your money, because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny.
Collective, she teaches you how to grow your money.
Hey!
Okay.
Well, listen to what Tanya had to say. I did a coaching call with Tanya today.
It has been a privilege and an honor to be part of this cohort. Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses. We have strategically taken the time each week to come together to understand how to build a business, how to brand a business, how to use real estate, how to use life insurance. We have bonus days where there are speakers who come and they share their stories and their goals and their successes. We have an accountability coach that I have learned to realize that she really is like a best friend to me. It has been an amazing journey. I have grown so much. Now all my fears are now my strengths.
When I tell you, I love these ladies. We have women from all over the country, from all walks of life, from my daughter, who's 24 years old, to Dr. Emma Frazier, who's almost 80. We have people, she's from Baltimore. We have people from New York, Baltimore, DMV, Texas, California, Minnesota, like all over the country. And we're coming together for one common goal. And that's just to build Black women to make them millionaires. So if you are interested, go to bookwithconstance.com so we can talk about it, because I want to get you in, because the next cohort is starting in a few weeks. And I want to help as many Black women as I can this year to become millionaires
And if you want to grow your money shirt,
not blow
go
your money,
to conversationtea.com or go to constancecarter.com/Bob.
You hear me?
Conversation Tea. You always got to.
This is my boo.
You always
my
got
ride or die. You heard me.
And I actually do strategy sessions with people.
She does strategy sessions. She's a marketing and brand manager, and she has her own hairline.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneur Rose.